three. Got it!
With the shot, lights out, good night, goodbye,
And that's it! Marshfield wins! It's a great serve.
Another one drop, and the Rams drop one first here in the Super Bowl.
Nice. Pick up the field, and it is
Scored! It is scored!
MCM coverage of MHS sports is proudly presented by
Biviano General Contracting.
Biviano General Contracting is Marshfield's leading custom modular house builder. Modular building saves time and money. Only 8 to 12 weeks for the entire build, saving up to 25% of the cost compared to traditional building. We also offer custom deck building, kitchen and bathroom remodels, additions, and house elevations.
More information can be found at bivianocontracting.com.
Repel Pest Solutions. Repel Pest Solutions is a full-service pest control company protecting residential and commercial properties from nuisance pests that carry germs and diseases. They are a small, family-run business from Marshfield, licensed, insured, competitively priced. We work to understand your needs and offer an integrated pest solution that's environmentally friendly. Don't be afraid to bug us. Road to Responsibility. Founded in 1988, Road to Responsibility's mission is to provide the means, the opportunity, and the support necessary to allow citizens with disabilities to take their place as productive members of the community. We are committed to providing all individuals with opportunities to truly live in the community. Through our services, we are proud to enrich and improve the lives of every individual, one person at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Marshfield High School, where we are set for girls varsity basketball. The Rams host the Norwell Clippers. Ben Wilson from Marshfield Community Media bringing you the play-by-play action for tonight's game. Marshfield has a rough season going for them right now. They're walking in 1-9. Norwell doing pretty well. They're 6-2. This is a game that a lot of people have been looking forward to. Myself, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Rams have to offer here against the Clippers. The Rams had a nice lead against the Quincy Presidents last game until the fourth quarter, where they unfortunately lost it, which led them to lose 66-55. So I'm interested to see what the Rams can pull off here against the Clippers. On the other side, the Clippers are coming off a win at Carver, 66-36, and they're currently on a 3-game win streak after beating Rockland 62-32, Cohasset 42-41, and of course Carver 66-36. Rams have a tough task ahead of them, but the Rams always able to face adversity, so we'll see what they have here tonight. It'll be Aruda to take the tip off for the Rams. And here we go. Rams going to start with possession here. Josie Elwood loses it a little bit. She able to regain it. Elwood gives it to McDougal. Over to Stevens. Back to McDougal. Gives it to Aruda. Aruda making a couple moves. Puts up the layup. An easy two for Carolyn Aruda. Unbelievable player, a sophomore forward who made the Patriot League All-Star team as a freshman last winter. Had 19 points last game against Quincy. A key player here for the Rams. Now it's going to be Cassidy at the top of the key, giving it over to Murray. And Murray over to Link. Excuse me, that's Dowd with the ball right there. Now it's, excuse me, that is Dowd, excuse me. Murray tried to put up the three, no good. Goes into the hands of Stevens, gives it to Elwood, over to McDougal. McDougal taking a couple steps towards the net, and she puts up an easy two. Rams starting off well here so far. Now Murray. Over to Dowd. Dowd gives it over to Warren. Warren making a few moves, tries to put up the layup, no good. Into the hands of Ruda, goes over to Stevens. Stevens to Elwood. Elwood not sure where to give it. Gonna dribble out, give it to McDougal, over to Stevens. Back to McDougal. Tries to give it to Aruda, just too far away, goes out of bounds. Dowd gives it to Murray. Murray giving it over to, well, Murray. Fun fact about the Clippers, they have 3 Murrays on their team, something that you can't say about a lot of teams. Now Dowd in the paint, gives it to Murray, over to her sister. Now to Dowd again. Over to Cassidy, puts up the 3. That one goes down. The big time 3 for Alexandra Cassidy. Now Stevens, over to Elwood, back to Stevens. Stevens over to McDougal, thought about the 3. To Aruda. Aruda making a couple moves, throws up the shot, no good. McDougal looking for the rebound, taken away by Cassidy. Now Dowd gives it to Cassidy, puts up the 3, that one no good. Into the hands of Stella Ewell, gives it over to McDougal. McDougal making a couple moves, puts up the shot, no good, but she is gonna foul Murray on that play right there. Be a Norwell ball. Murray inbounds it to her sister. Now Murray at the top of the key. Gives it to Cassidy. Over to Murray. Thought about the 3. Gives it to Cassidy. Makes a couple moves in the paint. Puts up the shot. No good. Into the hands of Aruda. Aruda over to Elwood. Gives it to McDougal. McDougal back to Elwood. Assistant coach Pat Lamb yelling out some plays from the sideline. Over to Stevens. Gives it to McDougal. Over to Ewell. Back to Stevens. Gives it to Aruda. Over to McDougal. Wide open 3. She's going to take it. That one's going to be an air ball. Into the hands of Murray. Murray over to Warren. Thought about the 3. Giving it over to Dowd. Tries to put up the layup. No good. Now Stevens gives it to Elwood. Covered by Murray. Elwood not sure where to place it. Gives it over to Stevens with a wide open 3. Takes it. That one bounces around and it goes through. The big 3 from Molly Stevens, who had 12 points last game against Quincy. Now Warren gives it to Murray. Tries to give it over to Cassidy. That one taken away by Elwood, given to Stevens. Now McDougal gives it to Stevens. Over to Elwood. Thought about the 3. Now McDougal gives it to Stevens. Covered heavy by Murray. Gives it over to Elwood. Over to Aruda. Puts up the layup. She gets fouled, and she'll have the N1.
Norwell foul number 4, Alex Cassidy, team first. At the line for the Rams, number 30, Carolina Aruda, shooting 1.
Rams with the lead 9-3. And Aruda completes the N1. Now Murray. Makes a few moves. She's going to take this one herself. In the paint, under pressure now. It'll be a jump ball possession. Will be a Norwell possession for that one. So the next time we see a jump ball, it will be Marshfield's. Murray to inbound this for the Clippers. Gives it to Cassidy. Makes a few moves. Tries to put up the shot. No good. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be... It'll be a Norwell ball. Looks like it went off of Stella Ewell there. Murray almost wastes the 5 seconds there. Gives it to Dowd. She gets called for taking one too many steps. Now Stevens gives this one to Elwood. Back to Stevens. Norwell coming out with a little bit of a press there. But now Aruda gives it to Ewell. Thought about the 3, takes it herself, tries to put up the shot. She gets fouled. will be Stella Ewell going to the line to shoot 2 for the Rams.
Number 4, Alex Cassidy, team third. At the line for the Rams, number 21, Stella Ewell, shooting 2.
First shot by Ewell, no good. Substitution here for Marshfield. In comes Lauren McDaniel. Out will come Carolyn Aruda.
Also for the Rams, number 33, Lauren McDaniel.
Second shot by Ewell goes through. Clippers trying to spread the ball around the Rams defense here. Now a quick mid-range put up by Murray, and she sinks that one. Now Elwood under pressure from the press here. Now Elwood gets hit. That'll be a foul on the Clippers.
Norwell foul number 23, Amelia Dowd, team fourth.
Now checking in for Norwell will be Canton coming in for Norwell. Now Stevens under pressure from Murray. Gives it to Elwood. Has time for 3. She'll put that one up. And that one goes through. Josie Elwood with the left wing 3. Big play there for the Rams. Adds up their lead to 14. Now Murray tried to take a few steps there. Rams take the ball away. 14-5, Rams lead. Now Elwood under pressure, gives it to McDougal. McDougal backwards to Stevens. Stevens now puts it up herself. Now McDaniel and Murray hit the floor. Foul will be called on the Rams. And in comes Audrey Sears for Maeve McDougal. Now Murray gives it over Donovan. Tries to give it over to Murray. Tipped away by Sears. Norwell able to remain in possession. And Donovan tried to put up the 3 there, no good. Now Elwood under some pressure. Ball comes loose into the hands of Murray. Puts up the layup and that one goes through. And now here comes the full court press from the Clippers. Sears covered by Cantor. Now Sears gets rid of it to Elwood. And the Rams going to get fouled there. Just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Rams lead by 7. Now Ewell takes away that one. Ball's loose into the hands of Warren. And Warren gives it over Murray, fakes 3. Over to Donovan, puts up the mid-range. That one's no good. Into the hands of Elwood, and it'll be a jump ball possession as Warren was trying to get in there. It will be a Marshfield ball. Sears to inbound it here for the Rams. Gives it to Elwood. Back to Sears. Sears back to Elwood. Under some pressure here from Murray. Gives it over to Stevens. Gives it to McDaniel. Over to Ewell. Tries to give it to McDaniel. Tipped a little bit by Donovan. Now to Ewell. Ball is tipped. Goes out of bounds. It will be a Marshfield ball. Now Elwood gives it to Sears. Back to Elwood. Over to McDaniel. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Elwood going to take the 3 off the rim. Into the hands of Donovan. Gives it over to Murray. 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Murray gives it to Warren. Warren steps back, looks for 3, tipped away by Elwood. And that's going to end the first quarter here. 14-7 at the end of the first. Rams coming out strong with the lead here. So while we have some time in between the first and second quarter, we'll take a quick break here on Marshfield Community Media.
MCM coverage of MHS sports is proudly presented by Repel Pest Solutions,
Biviano General Contracting.
Road to Responsibility.
Back here in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium for girls varsity basketball, Rams lead by 7 against the Norwell Clippers. And it will be Tess Murray to inbound this for the Clippers to start off the second quarter. Gives it to her sister. Over to Donovan. Under pressure from Robbins. Gives it away to Warren. Over to Cantor. And Cantor's going to get called for traveling there. And while we're in between quarters there, Carolyn Robbins checking into the game for the Rams. Now Sears gives it to Elwood. Over to Aruda, who also checked back in between the first and second quarter. Over to Sears. Gives it to Elwood. Puts up the layup. That one's no good. Now into the hands of Murray. Zips down the court. Gives it to Warren. Taking this one into the paint. Puts up the layup. And that one goes through. Warren with an easy path right through the Rams defense, something that the Rams need to watch out for. Now Sears gives it to Stevens. Over to Robbins, thought about three, giving it to Aruda, loses the ball a little bit, able to get it back. Throws the ball towards Stevens, goes out of bounds. It will be a Clipper ball. You know, Lamb and Rosa both checking into the game. Elwood and Sears will come out. Now Murray under the coverage of Stevens. Thought about giving it to her sister, but gives it over to Cantor. Cantor not sure where to put it. She'll try to dribble this one out. Gives it over to Warren, puts it the mid-range, and that one goes through. And Rosa gives it to Stevens, over to Aruda, back to Stevens. Over to Robbins. Robbins gives it to Stevenson. Stevens for three. That one's no good. Now Murray heads down the court, gives it to Warren, fakes three, takes this one in herself, tries to put up the layup, no good, but goes to Donovan for the rebound. She puts up the layup. Now Aruda gives this one to Stevens. Stevens to Aruda. Aruda to Robbins. Puts up the three. That one's an air ball. It will go out of bounds. At the start of the quarter, it was a 7-point lead. Now has fallen to a 1-point lead for the Rams. 14-13 is your score. Now Murray. Over to Murray. Gives it to Warren. Rosa hits the floor. Offensive foul will be called against Warren for that. Rosa to inbound this one for the Rams. Gives it to Aruda. Gets the ball tipped. Able to recover. Now Aruda just goes in herself. Puts up the shot, and that one goes through. Unbelievable effort there by Carolyn Aruda. Now Murray gives it to Warren. Warren in the paint, puts up the shot. That one goes through. Clippers answer to the Rams offense on that one. Now Rosa under pressure from the press. And Rosa gets that one taken away by Murray. Gives it to Murray. And Murray heads up the court, puts up the layup, no good, into the hands of Aruda. Aruda now under pressure. Foul called on Norwell. Surprised it wasn't a jump ball there. Both players grabbing at the ball there, but regardless, Rosa to inbound this one for Marshfield. Rosa gives this one to Stevens. Stevens to Aruda, back to Stevens. Stevens puts up the shot, no good, and she'll get fouled. Stevens going to go to the line to put up 2 for the Rams.
Foul good against Norwell, number 13, Ariana Cartwright, team third. At the line, Molly Stevens, shooting 2.
First shot for Stevens goes through. Second shot no good for Stevens. Now Warren gives it over to Murray. Over to Warren. Warren under pressure from Aruda. Under the net. Gives it over to Murray. Back to Warren. Over to Cartwright. Back to Warren. Gives it to Peethy. Over to Murray. Gives it to Warren. Puts up the 3. No good. Into the hands of Stella Ewell. Looks for Stevens. Accidentally goes into the hands of Lamb, who gives it back to Stevens. Now Stevens puts up the shot. No good. Rosa looking for the foul. Not going to get it. Now Warren gives it to Murray. Murray under the pressure of Rosa. Gives it over to Cartwright. Over to Murray. Back to Cartwright. Over to Murray. Takes this one in the paint. And that one gets slapped away by Carolyn Aruda. Unbelievable. The noise that basketball made. You just hear the slap of Aruda's hand. Unbelievable. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a Norwell ball. Unbelievable, though, by Carolyn Aruda. Just absolutely swatting that ball like a fly. Now to Cartwright with 3 seconds on the clock. Puts up the mid-range, off the rim, gets the rebound. Over to Murray, who gives it to Warren. Warren gets fouled. Shot's going to be no good.
Marshfield foul, number 20, Michaela Lamb. Correction, number 30, Caroline Aruda, team first, Norwell ball.
Murray to inbound this one for the Clippers. Gives it to Peethy. Takes a step out of bounds. But they're going to say it went off the hands of Stella Ewell. Murray getting into some time issues there. Almost uses the 5 seconds. Gives it over to Warren. Gives it to Cartwright. And Cartwright puts up the layup, no good. Into the hands of Murray. Murray under pressure from Elwood. Both players go down. Foul is going to be against Josie Elwood here.
Checking back in for the Rams, number 2, Molly Stevens.
And Molly Stevens will re-enter this game for Michaela Lamb. And a quick timeout taken by the Rams. We'll keep you here on Marshfield Community Media a little bit here. What started as a 7-point lead has now fallen to a 2-point lead for the Rams. That's how quickly the game of basketball can change. But the Clippers have to watch out for some key players on the Rams. Most notably, as we mentioned, Carolyn Aruda, who had 19 points last game against Quincy. But also they need to watch out for Maeve McDougall, who had 14 points against Quincy. As for the Rams, defensively, they should watch out for Alex Cassidy, the junior who was a 2-year starter and a South Shore League All-Star. Her point forward skills allows her to score inside or out and create for her teammates, said Coach Matt Marini. So that's a player you definitely want to watch out for if your coach is making some comments about you, as well as Heidi Warren, 6-foot wing who, according to her coach, can defend and score all aspects of the game. 2 players definitely to watch out for if you're the Rams. And both teams break the timeout and take the court. It'll be the same lineup for both teams. And it'll be Murray to inbound this one for the Clippers. Gives it to her sister. Over to Cartwright, puts up the 3. That one's no good. Into the hands of Josie Elwood. And Elwood throws this one over to McDougal. Wide open layup. She'll take it and put up the 2 points for the Rams. Now Murray. Over to Murray. Murray goes down. Foul called. It will be against the Rams. Now a substitution for the Clippers. Murray and Peethy both will come out for, well, you guessed it, Murray and Cassidy to come in. And Audrey Sears checks into the game for Josie Elwood. And Coach Wise dealing some plays from the sideline. Now Cassidy puts up the layup for the and 1. Great play there for her. Mentioned her potentially being a key player, and she's already proving to be one. Just under 3 minutes to go until halftime. And McDaniel will check into the game for Aruda. And Cassidy able to complete the and 1. And she'll quickly check out of the game for Donovan to come in her place. Now Stevens. Making a couple moves, gets down the court over to Ewell. Ewell to McDougal. Back to Ewell. Over to Sears. Sears in the paint, puts up the shot. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a Norwell ball. 19-18 is your score. Clippers trail by 1. Now Murray gives it over to Cassidy, over to Cartwright. And Warren gives that one over to Murray to put up the quick layup. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a Norwell ball. And now for the first time this game, Norwell takes the lead, 20-19. And a timeout taken by Coach Weisgerber. Interesting to see how quickly this game can change, as we had a 7-point lead to start the quarter, and now it's fallen to trailing by 1 for the Rams. So obviously taking the timeout here, you have to imagine Coach Wise is drawing up some new offensive strategies to try to get the ball down the court and in the net. And you can only imagine that the Clippers are going over some defensive strategies, trying to hold off the Rams offense, limit their scoring, keep the lead, and hopefully walk out of here with the win. Just about 2 minutes to go until halftime. And these two teams so far have been pretty evenly matched. And it's surprising to see when Marshfield is 1-9 and Norwell is 6-2, how evenly matched these two teams are. You could imagine that it was going to be a Norwell blowout, but it is far from that. It is a tight game between the Rams and the Clippers. And it is proving to be an exciting night here in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium. And Rams going to be the first to take the court after the timeout. It'll be the same lineup, same goes for the Clippers. Murray to inbound this one for Norwell. Under the coverage of Yule. Gives it to Cassidy. Puts up the mid-range. That one goes through, extending Norwell's lead. Now Stevens. Over to Sears. Gives it to Yule. And Yule over to Sears. Gives it to McDougal. McDougal making a couple moves. Puts up the three. That one no good. Right into the hands of Murray. Now Cassidy. Gives it to Warren. Puts up the three. That one's no good. But recovered by Cassidy. But Sears takes it away. Over to McDaniel. McDaniel gives it to Stevens. Minute 25 until halftime. Rams trail by 3. Now Sears over to McDougal. Gives it to McDaniel. Over to Stevens. Stevens charges up, puts up the shot. That one goes through. Rams only trail by 1. Minute 5 left until halftime. Now Cassidy in the paint gets fouled. Alexander Cassidy going to line to shoot 2, and checking into the game will be Cantor, and Cartwright will come out. First shot for Cassidy, no good. Second shot goes through. And now Cassidy will come out for Donovan to take her place. 1 minute to go until halftime. Sears gives it to Stevens. Stevens over to Yule. Back to Stevens. Over to Sears. Gives it to McDougal. Coach Wise yelling out plays from the sideline. McDaniels gives it to Stevens. Over to Sears. Back to McDaniel. Over to McDougal. Now Stevens gives it to Sears. Sears gives it to Stevens. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Stevens puts up the mid-range. That one's no good. Into the hands of Stella Yule. Shot clock has been turned off. Now Stevens, under pressure, gets the ball taken away by Murray. And Murray gives it over to Cantor. It's taken away by McDougal. But now back into the hands of Warren. And a foul is going to be called against Marshfield. So it'll be Warren going to the line. First shot for Warren goes through. Coach Wise going to substitute Elwood and Aruda in for Sears and McDaniel. Second shot for Warren goes through. And a substitution for the Clippers. In comes Pythie. Now Elwood. Over to Aruda. 10 seconds until halftime. Aruda over to Elwood. Going to put up the last second three. That one's no good. But recovered by Yule. Puts up the shot, no good. But McDougal chases after it. Puts up the three. That one's no good. And that's going to be halftime here in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium. Rams trail by 4. 25-21 is your score. Clippers have the lead. Both teams going into locker rooms, discuss some strategies for the second half. And for that, we'll take a break here on Marshfield Community Media. Don't go anywhere.
MCM coverage of MHS Sports is proudly presented by
Biviano General Contracting.
Biviano General Contracting is Marshfield's leading custom modular house builder. Modular building saves time and money. Only 8 to 12 weeks for the entire build, saving up to 25% of the cost compared to traditional building. We also offer custom deck building, kitchen and bathroom remodels, additions, and house elevations.
More information can be found at bivianocontracting.com.
Repel Pest Solutions. Repel Pest Solutions is a full-service pest control company protecting residential and commercial properties from nuisance pests that carry germs and diseases. They are a small, family-run business from Marshfield, licensed, insured, competitively priced. We work to understand your needs and offer an integrated pest solution that's environmentally friendly. Don't be afraid to bug us. Road to Responsibility. Founded in 1988, Road to Responsibility's mission is to provide the means, the opportunity, and the support necessary to allow citizens with disabilities to take their place as productive members of the community. We are committed to providing all individuals with opportunities to truly live in the community. Through our services, we are proud to enrich and improve the lives of every individual, one person at a time.
Hey guys, I'm Will,
I'm Jack.
And I'm Ben.
and we are the voices of the Marshfield Rams football team for the pregame and halftime show that you hear every week.
Welcome back to the Marshfield Rams
MCM
pregame show.
To the halftime
Halftime show. I am Jack Hughes. This is Will and Ben. And
With the season coming to an end, we just want to take a quick time out and say thank you to everyone who joined us every single week to broadcast the Marshfield Rams football games. That ball picked off to the 5-10 touchdown. Marshfield wants to go and block it. They did. No one's going to catch Cole Hannigan as he throws on the afterburners.
the opportunity to broadcast our hometown athletes is such a privilege. We are also honored to bring you guys into the action.
Unfortunately, we're actually at risk of losing this local sports coverage that brings our community together. Frankly, we're in desperate need of support.
You see, we're a nonprofit, and while you may see us on a variety of platforms, the main funding that Marshfield Community Media gets is from the cable payments of Marshfield residents.
As more and more people continue to cut cable in the town, this results in dwindling funds for MCM, which means less broadcasting and even worse, less football.
If you enjoy seeing our local athletes on screen, if you've been enjoying our halftime reports, or if you value hometown sports and community storytelling, please consider making a donation today. Your donations can help keep the lights on, the mics working, and the cameras rolling.
Your donations will go directly towards the essentials: equipment upgrades, production costs, and to pay the staff that's behind us every single week during the games.
Every contribution, big or small, helps keep the game going and the cameras rolling. So please, consider donating down below.
MCM coverage of MHS sports is proudly presented by Repel Pest Solutions,
Biviano General Contracting,
Road to Responsibility.
People in the community tell us all the time, Marshfield Community Media is a hidden gem. While we love hearing that we're a gem, we don't love hearing that we're hidden. So let's talk about what we can offer you and this wonderful community. One of the biggest things we offer is training. We can train you on various forms of media such as camera work, podcasting, editing, and so much more. The only thing we require is that you're a member of our studio, which for Marshfield residents is just $30 a year. And with that membership, you not only get access to training, but our entire arsenal of state-of-the-art equipment. We'll help you create the content you've been dreaming about. In addition to this, we also offer production services. Do you have a small business and want to film some promotions for your website or social media? We've got you covered. We've worked with businesses all over the South Shore to produce high-quality promotional material at an affordable rate. You probably already know this, but in case you don't, we provide high-quality coverage of important community events. This includes MHS varsity sports, municipal government meetings, important local news, and many other special community events and ceremonies. So if you'd like to know more about us, you can check out our website at marshfieldcommunitymedia.com or give us a call at 781-837-4384. Thank you. Over the past 15 years, MCM has supported the Marshfield community through its mission in connecting the community. As successful as MCM has been, there is a significant challenge facing MCM that will dramatically impact the Marshfield community. Just like almost all community media centers, over 90% of MCM's funding comes from Comcast and Verizon's cable licenses with the town of Marshfield. MCM receives a small percentage of that cable revenue. With technology changing and people changing the way that they consume media, many people have decided to abandon cable television for streaming platforms. 2021 to 2022 saw the greatest one-year decline in cable subscriptions in Massachusetts at 10%. Marshfield isn't immune to this, and over the next several years, we expect to see at least a 20% decrease in our funding due to the decline in cable subscribers in Marshfield. It means saying goodbye to members of the MCM staff, not making important upgrades that make MCM the state-of-the-art studio it is, and a significant reduction in support to valuable community institutions. But most importantly, what does this mean for you? It means saying goodbye to open and transparent government coverage, not being able to see important Marshfield school events like graduation and sports, as well as important community news and information shared by MCM. Please don't let this important community institution wither and die. Please contact us or visit our website to find out more about how you can support Marshfield Community Media.
MCM coverage of MHS sports is proudly presented by
Biviano General Contracting.
Biviano General Contracting is Marshfield's leading custom modular house builder. Modular building saves time and money. Only 8 to 12 weeks for the entire build, saving up to 25% of the cost compared to traditional building. We also offer custom deck building, kitchen and bathroom remodels, additions, and house elevations.
More information can be found at bivianocontracting.com.
Repel Pest Solutions. Repel Pest Solutions is a full-service pest control company protecting residential and commercial properties from nuisance pests that carry germs and diseases. They are a small, family-run business from Marshfield, licensed, insured, competitively priced. We work to understand your needs and offer an integrated pest solution that's environmentally friendly. Don't be afraid to bug us. Road to Responsibility. Founded in 1988, Road to Responsibility's mission is to provide the means, the opportunity, and the support necessary to allow citizens with disabilities to take their place as productive members of the community. We are committed to providing all individuals with opportunities to truly live in the community. Through our services, we are
Back here in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium for second half action. Rams trail by 4 against the Norwell Clippers as Elwood gives this one over to McDougal, who gives it to Stevens. Back over McDougal, fakes 3. Not sure where to give it. Gets it poked away by Dowd. Over to Yule, gives it to Aruda. Aruda puts up the shot, no good. Gets her own rebound, no good. Into the hands of Cassidy, who gives it over to Murray. Over to Dowd, puts up the mid-range. That one's no good. Into the hands of Warren, and she'll get fouled while attempting to put up a shot there.
Marshfield foul, number 21, Sully Newell, team first. At the line for Norwell, number 21, Heidi Warren, shooting 2.
First shot for Warren is no good. Second shot goes through. Now Elwood gives this one over to Aruda. Aruda gives it over to Elwood, over to McDougal, wide open, under the net is Yule, tries to put up the shot, no good. Stevens gets the rebound, puts up the shot, no good. Fans in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium looking for a foul, not going to get it, and Murray couldn't hold on to it there as the ball goes out of bounds. Stevens to inbound it for the Rams. Over to McDougal. Gives it over to Elwood. Elwood over to Stevens. Gives it to Yule. Right wing 3. That one's no good. Now a fight for the ball. It'll be a jump ball possession. Norwell going to have possession on the jump ball there. Now Dowd over to Murray, puts up the 3. That one's no good. Into the hands of Aruda. Gives it over to Stevens. Over to Elwood. Tries to give it over to McDougal. That one's taken away by Dowd. And Dowd charging to the net, puts up the shot, no good. And Stevens rips the ball out of Dowd's hands. But it will be a foul called against Norwell. Stevens gives it to Elwood. Elwood over to Yule. Yule to Aruda under the net, puts up the shot, no good. Into the hands of Dowd. Dowd gives it to Murray, puts up the shot, no good. Ball's on the ground, collected by Dowd, puts up the shot, that one goes through. Now Stevens gives this one to Aruda. Back to Stevens. Hustles down the court, gives it to Elwood. Over to Yule. Clippers running man-to-man right now. Throwing the Rams offense off a little bit. Now Elwood puts up the 3. That one's airballed, goes out of bounds. Murray to inbound it to her sister. Now Dowd over to Murray, gives it to her sister. Wide open 3, she takes the shot. That one goes through. The big 3 for Tess Murray. Now Aruda gives this one to Stevens. Euro steps, throws up the shot. That one goes through. And now a delay of game warning against the Rams. Interesting call there. Not sure what provoked it, but regardless, Cassidy gives us an over to Dowd. Over to Cassidy, gives it to Murray. Over to Dowd, gives it to Murray, puts up the three. That one's no good. But Murray and Dowd both chase after the rebound. Dowd comes up with it. Dowd to Murray, puts up the three. That one's no good. And the ball looks like it might have bounced out of bounds there. And the player's looking to rebound it. So it'll be a Marshfield ball. Aruda to inbound this one for the Rams. Gives this one to Elwood. Over to Aruda, back to Elwood, who hustles down the court. Gives this over to Stevens. Puts up the three. That one's no good. But Elwood collects the rebound. And Elwood over to Ewell. Thought about three, nope. And now ref blows the whistle. It'll be a foul against the Clippers. It'll be Stevens to inbound this one for the Rams. Stevens throws this one over to Ewell, gives it to McDougal. McDougal tries to put up the shot. That one's blocked and taken away by Dowd. And now Dowd takes a wide open path up the paint, tries to put up the shot. That one's no good. And now a foul called on the Clippers. And you have to imagine Coach Matt Marini is not happy with the amount of fouls that's been called against his team. Now Stevens gives it to Aruda, who looks like she wants to give it back to Stevens. She will do so. And Stevens puts up the wide open three. That one's no good. And Cassidy comes up with the rebound. Gives it to Dowd, charges up, puts up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Murray, gives it back to Dowd, tries to put up the shot, no good. Now Elwood, under some serious pressure, and you have to imagine there's going to be a foul called against the Clippers on that one. 3.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Clippers lead 31-23 against the Rams. Now Elwood throws this one in to Aruda, gives it to Stevens, back to Aruda, loses it a little bit, able to recover, over to Stevens. Stevens going to get fouled on her way through the paint. Goes to the line for two. First shot for Stevens is no good. And Rosa going to check into the game for Elwood, and as well as Michaela Lamb for McDougal. Second shot for Stevens goes through. Now Murray zips this one over to Dowd, over to Murray. Rams on the high 2-3. And a foul going to be called against the Clippers. And you have to imagine that the Clippers are just infuriated at this point with the amount of fouls called against their team. And now a timeout taken by Coach Marini, and he's going to go up to the ref here and give him a little bit of his own say, as we'll call it as that. Couple of interesting words thrown towards the ref by Coach Marini. But regardless, timeout, gonna take the Clippers into the huddle here. Obviously, need to bounce back from the amount of fouls that they have right now. Definitely what's been hurting them the most. The Rams need to get the ball down the court offensively. And they also need to make sure to run some better defensive formations. Clippers just been able to get around the Rams on all aspects of the ball so far here in the third quarter. The Rams had the lead at the start of the game, but the Clippers slowly took it back. So we'll see if the Rams can slowly take back the lead like the Clippers did to them. Rams come out of the timeout here. 3:05 left in the third quarter. And Coach Marini pretty much saying to his team, hey, avoid the fouls as much as you can. Stevens to inbound this one for the Rams. Stevens gives it to Aruda, back to Stevens. Stevens under the coverage of Murray, gives it to Rosa, who gives it over to Aruda, who gives it to Stevens. And Stevens puts up the mid-range, no good. But rebounded by Ewell, tries to put up the shot, no good. Ball's on the ground. And referees call it as on the floor. It'll be another Marshfield possession. It'll be Stevens at the line, shooting 2. Lots and lots of fouls filling this third quarter for the Clippers. 2:45 left in the quarter. Stevens' second shot is no good. Now Warren gives it to Cassidy, back to Warren. And Warren tried to give it over to Cassidy, goes past her into the hands of Dowd, who gives it back to Warren. Warren to Cassidy, over to Murray, over to her sister, puts up the 3. That one's no good. But Murray collects her own rebound, and she's going to get fouled for traveling. Coach Marini not pleased with that one at all. Now Ruda throws this one in to Stevens. Now Aruda gives it to Ewell. Over to Stevens. Gives it to Aruda. Ewell puts up the 3, no good. Rebounded by Rosa, who gives it to Ewell in the paint, puts up the shot, no good, and she gets fouled while putting up that shot. So it'll be still a Ewell this time, going to the line for 2. And now the Clippers are in the bonus, something that you don't want to have happen. Ewell's first shot goes through. And A.V. Donovan will check in for Alexander Cassidy here. Ewell's second shot is no good. Into the hands of Warren. Rosa tried to take it away. She'll get fouled right there. So it'll be a Norwell ball off that one. Now Dowd gives it to Murray, who gives it to her sister. Over to Warren. Back to Murray. Over to Murray. Shoots the 3. That one's no good. But Murray collects the rebound. Gives it to Dowd. Under double coverage from Lamb and Ewell. And now a foul called against the Rams. Lamb not sure what the call was there. But regardless, Murray to inbound this one for the Clippers. And now quickly, Donovan puts up the 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by Dowd. But Lamb takes that one away. Gives it to Ewell, who gives it over to Stevens. And Stevens tries to get it to Aruda. Tipped away into the hands of Dowd. Excuse me, that's Warren heading up the court. And the refs, not sure what the call was. They're going to say the layup does not count, and it will be a Marshfield ball. Coach Marini is just flabbergasted with the amount of fouls that have been called on his team. Now Stevens gives it to Aruda. Back to Stevens. And Stevens gives it to Aruda. Over to Lamb. Puts up the 3. That one's no good. But rebounded by Aruda. Puts up the shot, but she gets fouled while putting that one up. It'll be Aruda going to the line, shooting 2. It's just foul after foul after foul for the Clippers. This time it's Aruda at the line. Aruda's first shot goes through. And if you're the Clippers now, you have to imagine that you just need to play as safely as you can. You know these refs clearly are calling everything they see against you. Really no other way to put it. You just got to watch the fouls if you're the Clippers. Now Murray gets called for traveling. Stevens to inbound it for the Rams. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. This one goes over to Aruda, who gives it over to Rosa. And Rosa gives it to Lamb, loses the ball. It goes out of bounds for a Norwell ball. Now Murray gives it to Cantor, who gives it back to Murray, over to Cantor. He gives it to Murray, puts up the three. That one goes through. Tess Murray picking up another three in the second half. Now Aruda with 20 seconds left until we enter the fourth quarter. Gives it to Stevens, wasting as much time as they can here. Gives it over to Rosa. Gives it to Aruda. Goes through the paint, puts up the layup, no good. Into the hands of Carter. And Carter gives it to Murray, puts up the shot, blocked by Rosa. That's the end of the third quarter here in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium. Score is 34-27. Clippers have the lead. But the big thing here in the third quarter for the Clippers has been the amount of fouls that have been called against them. It's something that they just need to watch out for here in the fourth quarter. They're already in the bonus, something that you don't want to have happen. The Rams, with the amount of foul shots that they've been receiving, they have an easy opportunity to get the lead here. So both teams exiting the third quarter there. Looks like they're running some high 2-3 defenses. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a change up there walking into the fourth quarter. But right now, I mean, it's all you can say is the fouls. That's the one thing that the Clippers need to improve, and they have a perfect game going for them. Buzzer sends us into the fourth quarter here in Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium. 34-27, Clippers lead. Let's see if the Rams can get the lead back here. Started as a Rams lead, now a Clipper lead. So we'll see what the Rams can do here. It'll be Stevens to inbound this one for the Rams to start off the fourth quarter. Now Elwood gives it over to McDougal, who gives it to Stevens. And McDougal hits the floor, no foul called there. Now Aruda gives it to Lamb, puts up the three. That one's no good. Elwood chases after the rebound. She gets it, gives it to Aruda, puts up the layup. That one's no good. Aruda gives it to Stevens for the mid-range, no good. Now Murray heads down the court, gives this one over to Cantor, back to Murray. And Cantor gives it to Murray, gives it to her sister. And now a clear illegal screen by Vivian Peethy will give the Rams the ball. Now Elwood makes her way up the court, gives this one to Stevens, thought about three, gives it to Aruda for, I believe, a mid-range. It will be no good. Whistle blown, and it's just an out-of-bounds ball. Now a substitution for Norwell. It will be Dowd coming back into the game. Murray will come out. Now Dowd puts up the quick shot. That one's no good. Gets her own rebound. Tries to give it to Cantor. Just over her head. Goes out of bounds. Be a Marshfield ball. Now Aruda. Looking where to put the ball. Gives it to Elwood. Puts up the shot. No good. And McDougal tries to get the rebound. That one goes out of bounds. And it will be a Norwell ball. That was good effort there by McDougal. A key player to watch out for in the fourth quarter here. Having 14 points against Quincy last game. Now Murray. And Coach Marini looking for a foul against Marshfield. And now he'll get it. It'll be against Elwood for pushing there. And Yule comes into the game before Michaela Lamb. Now Murray gives us an over to Cantor. Cantor loses the ball a little bit, able to get it back. Gives it to Dowd, throws it all the way over to Peethy, gives it to Murray. Clippers working around the arc here, but now Murray tries to take it in. Meets Josie Elwood. Now Cantor. Not sure where to put it. Going to take this one herself in the paint. Puts up the shot. That's no good. Right into the hands of Maeve McDougal, who gives it over to Carolyn Aruda. And Aruda gives it to Stevens. And Stevens gives it to Elwood. Elwood gives this to Aruda. And Aruda spins, puts up the layup. Now Murray gives it to Dowd. And Donovan provides the screen. Dowd gives it to Donovan. Donovan puts up the shot, no good, into the hands of Aruda, who gives it to Elwood. And Elwood lobs this one over to McDougal. McDougal puts up the layup. That one's no good. Now Murray gets that one taken away by McDougal. And McDougal heads up the court, puts up the layup, and she gets fouled on the way through. McDougal goes to the line to shoot two for the Rams. First shot for McDougal goes through. As Warren and Murray both check in the game for the Clippers. Second shot for McDougal goes through. Rams now trail by 3. Now Murray gives it over to Cantor, over to Dowd. Dowd puts up the 3. That one goes through. Now Elwood gives this to Aruda. And Aruda over to Stevens. Gives it to Aruda. And Stevens tries to put up the shot there, gets fouled on the way through. Be the third foul of the quarter for the Clippers.
Norwell foul number 23, Amelia Dowd, and Steve's third. At the line for the Rams, number 2, Molly Stevens, shooting 2.
And Cantor and Murray will come out. And Murray's sister will replace her, as well as Cartwright. Stevens' second shot is no good. And McDougal loses it a little bit, recovered by Elwood. Elwood puts up the quick 3. That one's no good. Stevens tried to collect the rebound, hits the deck. No foul called there. Now Dowd Gives one to Cartwright. Over to Murray. Puts up the three. That one goes through. Now McDougal gives it to Stevens. Puts up the layup. No good. Rebounded by Warren. And Warren gives it over to Dowd. Loses it a little bit. Able to make the recovery. And Dowd gets around Yule. Gives it to Cassidy. Gets that one swatted away by Aruda. Now Yule tosses this one over to McDougal. And McDougal gets called for traveling on the way down the court. And Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium does not agree with that call. Now Dowd bounces this one over to Warren, puts up the layup, no good. Gets her own rebound though, tries to put up the shot, no good. Norwell sideline looking for a foul. Warren, still with possession. Gives it to Cassidy, stripped away by McDougal. And McDougal gives it over to Elwood, puts up the three, that one's no good. And a quick foul called on McDougal after that play. And a timeout will be taken by the Rams. And you can see assistant coach Pat Lamb definitely not happy about how this fourth quarter has been going down. As you can imagine, the frustration has to be building for both sides of the ball here. Rams struggling to come back, and Norwell struggling with the fouls, something both teams need to bounce back from. But something that the Rams need to watch out for the rest of this game is the threes. That's definitely what's been getting past them. We've seen a lot of left wing threes drop for the Clippers. That's something that the Rams need to focus their defense on walking into the rest of the game. For the Clippers, they've been playing some extremely strong defense here against the Rams, but that's usually been costing them with fouls. So maybe they need to ease off a little bit when it comes to defense, but they also need to limit the Rams scoring as much as they can. And both teams take the court out of the timeout here. It'll be the same lineup for both teams. It'll be Murray to inbound this one for the Clippers. Gives it to her sister. Now Murray to Murray. Gets the screen from Warren, gives it to Cassidy, over to Murray. Murray gives this one to Warren. Warren puts up the three, blocked by McDougal. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a Clipper ball, but a great play there for Maeve McDougal. And Murray inbounds it to her sister, over to Cartwright, who tries to get it in the paint to Warren, and it's slapped away by Aruda. Ball goes out of bounds again for another Clipper ball. The Rams playing some good defense here against the Clippers. And now ball will go out of bounds again, and this time, it will remain, it will go to the Rams. And now a substitution for Norwell. We'll see Peethy and Murray. And now all three Murray sisters into the game for Norwell. Number 2, number 3, and number 5, all a part of the Murray family. Now Stevens gives this one to Elwood, covered by Murray. Elwood over to Stevens. Gets the screen from Aruda. Stevens gives it to Aruda. Aruda to McDougal. McDougal to Stevens, gives it to Aruda. It'll be a foul called against the Clippers. And now Big substitution here for Norwell. Going to see Warren, Dowd, and Cassidy all enter the game. And it'll be Peethy, Cartwright, and Murray exiting. Now with 2 minutes to go here until this one's over. Aruda tries to put up the shot. That one's no good. Into the hands of Dowd. Now Dowd, under the pressure of Elwood, gives it to Murray. Murray gives it to her sister. And a timeout taken by Norwell. And once again, Coach Marini over to the ref asking about the fouls. So as we mentioned before, foul is something that the Clippers need to watch out for. Rams trail by 9 with just under 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. So while we have some time to spare, we'll take a quick break here on Marshfield Community Media.
MCM coverage of MHS Sports is proudly presented by Repel Pest Solutions,
Biviano General Contracting,
Road to Responsibility.
Keuther Gymnasium out of the timeout. Rams trail by 9, 40-31 against the Norwell Clippers. Rams still in the huddle here. It'll be the same five. It'll be the same five for the Rams here on the court. Now Murray gives it to her sister, gives it to Cassidy, puts up the shot, and she'll get fouled by Stella Ewell. And Cassidy goes to the line to shoot two for the Clippers.
After the line for Norwell, number 4, Alex Cassidy, shooting 2.
First shot for Cassidy goes through, extending the Clippers' lead to 10. Second shot for Cassidy is good, and Donovan checks into the game for her. Now Aruda with a minute and a half to go, with an 11-point deficit here. And Aruda loses the ball, it goes out of bounds. It will be a Norwell ball. And Coach Wise just chuckling at this point. And the ball will go out of bounds again. Will be another Norwell ball. And now a foul will be called against Carolina Aruda. The fourth of the fourth quarter for the Rams. Murray to inbound this one for the Clippers. Gives it to Cassidy. Hustles down the court. Gives it over to Dowd. Dowd puts up the layup. That one goes through. Now Elwood heads down the court. Gives it to Aruda. Over to Stevens. Gives it to Elwood. Puts up the long three. That one's no good. Now Dowd heads down the court, gives it to Murray, over to Cassidy, thought about three, not going to take it, and a foul will be called against the Rams. So we saw the Clippers enter foul trouble in the third quarter. Now it's the Rams in the foul trouble in the fourth quarter. First shot for Cassidy goes through. Second shot as well. 46-31 is your score. Rams trail by 15 now. Now Stevens in the paint, puts up the layup, no good. McDougal gets the rebound, puts up the hook shot, and that one goes through. And the timeout quickly taken by Coach Weisgerber. Now it's really been the defense here from the Clippers, really just getting to the Rams, something that Coach Wise is definitely going to talk about in the timeout here. Rams down by 13. Less than a minute to go. It's going to be a tough task, but we'll see if the Rams can pull it off. The game of basketball can change extremely quick, so we'll see what the Rams can do after they come out of the timeout here. Will be the first to take the court. It'll be Murray inbounding this one for the Clippers. She gives this one to Cassidy. 40 seconds to go, and Elwood quickly takes the ball away, gives it to Aruda, puts up the layup, and she'll get the N1. A quick series of events here to come out of the timeout. Aruda quickly picks up the N1. And Aruda completes the play for her highlight reel, as Tyler Panero would say. And now Aruda gets a foul called on her, which will send Cassidy to the line. First shot for Cassidy goes through. 35 seconds to go. And Cassidy able to miss the second one, maybe off the distraction from our cameraman, Jack Hughes. But now Elwood looks for the three, not going to take it, gives it to Aruda, puts up the layup, that one goes through. Rams slowly but surely picking away at the lead. And now another foul called against the Rams will send Cassidy to the line once again.
At the line for Norwell, number 4, Alex Cassidy, shooting team.
First shot for Cassidy goes through. Makes it a 10-point lead for Norwell. Second shot will also go through. 18 seconds left here, and Aruda fires it to McDougal, who gives it back to Aruda, gives it over to Stevens, puts up the three. That one's no good. Now into the hands of Warren, and she's going to dribble up the clock. That's going to do it here for girls varsity basketball. Rams have an unfortunate loss, 49-38. Norwell Clippers take the win. Marshfield going to move to 1-10, and the Clippers will move to 7-2. That's going to do it here on Marshfield Community Media. I'm Ben Wilson here for play-by-play. Jack Hughes behind the camera. Yvonne Osborne back in the studio from Robert E. Keuther Gymnasium. Good night.
MCM coverage of MHS sports is proudly presented by
Biviano General Contracting.
Biviano General Contracting is Marshfield's leading custom modular house builder. Modular building saves time and money. Only 8 to 12 weeks for the entire build, saving up to 25% of the cost compared to traditional building. We also offer custom deck building, kitchen and bathroom remodels, additions, and house elevations.
More information can be found at bivianocontracting.com.
Repel Pest Solutions. Repel Pest Solutions is a full-service pest control company protecting residential and commercial properties from nuisance pests that carry germs and diseases. They are a small, family-run business from Marshfield, licensed, insured, competitively priced. We work to understand your needs and offer an integrated pest solution that's environmentally friendly. Don't be afraid to bug us. Road to Responsibility. Founded in 1988, Road to Responsibility's mission is to provide the means, the opportunity, and the support necessary to allow citizens with disabilities to take their place as productive members of the community. We are committed to providing all individuals with opportunities to truly live in the community. Through our services, we are proud to enrich and improve the lives of every individual, one person at a time.
Crossing a 50, 40, he's got two men to beat, no one's gonna catch.
Kick is up, and it is
Score!
for three.
Got it!
With the shot, it's lights out, good night, goodbye,
And that's it! Marshfield wins! It's a great serve.
another one,
drop!
and the Rams drop one first here in the Super Bowl.